Hi guys, happy Thursday. Today is May 9th. It's 1:12 a.m. Friday, May 10th. But we're not talking about Friday, we're talking about Thursday. Sunday, Mother's Day, is the official end of season here in South Florida. And I'll tell you, I'm definitely already feeling the effects. Today my sales were 900. I haven't had that low sales in a while. I think I even have higher sales for brunch sometimes, which is crazy. You guys know how much I love brunch. Alright, you are a badass. You are a total badass. Don't take failure personally. Get your ego out of it and your curiosity into it. Approach failure with an attitude of, I wonder why that happened. Was there something I could have done differently? Don't fall into the trap of creating an award-winning drama around failure and using it as proof that you're a moron, /doomed, /never gonna get what you want. If you have a desire, the way is there. Failure is actually very important. It tells us what works and what doesn't work, And you can't take it personally. You can't take anything personally. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the Four Agreements, but it's an amazing book. And it's hard to live by. Those principles are definitely hard to live by. Don't take anything personally. And it's hard. It's really hard when it's an action that you're specifically taking and a goal that you're specifically trying to achieve and you fall short. Like, how can you not think that that's your fault? But I think that's what they mean by get your ego out of it. Like, take the fault out. There doesn't have to be a fault. It just wasn't time for that. And then examine it, You have to do an autopsy on that failure. See where you fell short. See what you could have done better. See who played a part in that goal and not achieving it. My goal was to make X amount of money tonight and I didn't. But it's not because I'm a bad server. It's not because I effed up an order. It's not because the kitchen screwed me. It just wasn't the volume, or I had really crappy customers by the end of the night. That's not a reflection on me and my capabilities. It just is from outside forces. But sometimes it is your fault. Not fault, right? We're going to take fault out of it. Sometimes it is of your own doing. You get a bad grade in a class, it's not necessarily the teacher, even though they might be a crappy ass teacher. There's still something more you could have done. You probably could have studied harder. You could have turned in extra credit. And that's hopefully, failure is how we learn our lessons and what not to do. I had to fail at getting recovered many, many times to get where I am today. And it probably would have looked a lot different if I had gotten it earlier. It definitely wouldn't look like it looks now, and I'm really grateful for how my life looks right now. I have friends, I have a home, I have my family in my life, I have my son. There's a lot of blessings in my life right now. And I have to remember those. I have to remember those. So that's the thing. You gotta autopsy your failure. See what you can do different next time. And that's the beauty. Is if you keep trying, there's always a next time. Right? May 9th. And just for today, write about it! Exclamation point. Take this writing stuff very seriously. We sit down with a notebook, ask for guidance, pick up our pen, and start writing. When we're confused or in pain, our sponsor sometimes tells us to write about it. Though we may groan as we drag out the notebook, we know that it will help. By laying it out all on paper, we give ourselves the chance to sort through what's bothering us. We know we can get to the bottom of our confusion and find out what's really causing our pain when we put the pen to paper. Writing can be rewarding, especially when working through steps. Many members maintain a daily journal. It'd be like your 10-step inventory, which I highly suggest. It's very helpful to see patterns. Simply thinking about the steps, pondering their meaning, and analyzing their effect is not sufficient for most. There's something about the physical action of writing that helps to fix the principles of recovery in our minds and hearts. The rewards we find through simple action of writing are many. Clarity of thought, keys to locked places inside us, and the voice of consciousness are but a few. Writing helps us to be more honest with ourselves. We sit down, quiet our thoughts, and listen to our hearts. What we hear in the stillness are truths that we put down on paper. Just for today, one of the ways I can search for truth in recovery is to write. I will write about my recovery today. I struggle with that a lot. I do not like to write. I really don't. That's why I started these videos. Because sometimes I have really funny things to say. Or silly stories I'd like to remember. And I refuse to write them down. I don't know what gives. I have so much stuff. I feel like I could write a book and I think it would be entertaining. But a lot of close calls, misfortunes, and perseverance. Because that's what my life has been up to now. And I mean, continues to be, is perseverance. You know, getting myself into the worst shitstorms possible and then pulling myself out. Yeah, maybe with a little help from my family. But for the most part, I've used just a lot of self-resources, you know. My therapist, Dina, I love her to death. She's saved my life. She says I'm the most resourceful woman she knows. And that really means a lot to me. Because I think that's true. I think that's true. You have a lot of women who play helpless victim. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Honestly. Be strong. Get through it. Find a way. And that's what You Are a Badass says. If you have the desire, the way is there. If you want to get something, get it. If you want to achieve something, achieve it. If you don't like something, change it. Right? Behind all of those goals is an action. You have to take action. And I think that's what a lot of people lack sometimes, is they're not willing to do the work. I mean, nobody likes to work. I'm sure everyone would be probably a lot happier if they just got handouts, if they just, you know, once a year got $1 million for doing nothing. But that would probably also be a lot of chaos. And I don't think there'd be a lot of really good people in the world. I think that greed would overtake integrity, hands down. I don't want to live in that world. That's why I work hard. That's why I work hard for what I want. Because in the end, it's going to feel a lot better when I achieve it, that's for sure. I just got really good news at school. My student loans got pulled, so that really sucks. I am looking into different scholarship opportunities and grants I can apply for. But the good news is that a lot of my classes from old transcripts were reevaluated and set to satisfy a ton of requirements. I thought I was going to have to take about 20 classes, and it's now I need 11 courses to graduate. And I can do that. I can do 11 classes. I'm taking 3 over summer. Those aren't included in the 11. The 11 is between fall and spring. If I want to, try and walk